Hello, folks. This is Carla of the Learn English by Speaking English show, and I am here to speak with you in English. Osama Attar should be here any moment, but I wanted to get started on time if I could. And we, like always, are sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization creating peace around the world using technology and conversation. And as you know, this show has plenty of people most days coming in to speak in English. And I've been thinking a lot recently because I've started the mindful journey, change journey, the mind change journey, and the mindful chat for 5 minutes. And I had people say to me, "Hey, Carla, but in reality, there's also bad." And yes, there is negativity in the world, regardless of what we want to do and what we want to say. And you are unmuted, very nice. And I want to talk to you about it a little today and get your thoughts on it, because there are two things going on. There's always good and there's always not so good. But the not so good gets us to do the good. Like when 9/11 happened, if all of New York just shut their eyes to it, it wouldn't have brought people together in New York helping each other move forward. If people shut their eyes to what Greta Thunberg is doing as far as climate change, it wouldn't be happening. You know, she started a mass movement towards it. And none of this would have started if everything was just good and dandy. It's good these things are happening because people have a reason to talk about it and move forward. And talking about moving forward, I need to share this out. And I have Osama who can introduce himself. Hello, Osama.
Hey everyone.
Introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. This is Osama. I am originally from Syria in the Middle East. I am living now in Sweden, in Northern Europe. Uh, I am married. I have two kids, and I work as a communication and neuro-linguistic programming trainer and coach, life coach. Um, as Carla was saying, change could happen from what we can describe as negative things or positive things. The thing is, change is happening all the time, whether we like it or not, whether we try to manage it or we don't. Change is, as Einstein said, is the only constant in the universe. That's change. So change is always happening, and what we can do about it is to accept that fact and try to make the best of it. Very simple. Um, you know,
Can I
it
add?
requires. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not only change, but it's that when we get angry or when we get frustrated, we sometimes stop and we just complain and complain and complain. And what I'm saying is, don't complain, do something about it. You know, use it as a reason to move forward. not to stop you from doing something. Okay,
Of
go on.
course.
I just wanted to make that point. Go on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are two types of people. And I could describe what you said is being in the victim position, which is sadly it's a very popular situation for many people because it just throws the responsibility away from you. It's like, well, this happened to me, and this guy told me this, and so, and this is happening to me, and I'm just a victim. I can't do anything about it. That's that's a that's a position that would put you in a victim situation, and it's kind of just just a pretext to sit and do nothing about it. And well, successful people don't think like that. Successful people would go, all right, this is happening. What can I do about it? How can I turn it around? How can I do something positive? How can I, you can see any situation like an opportunity for growth or a problem. It's just a matter of choice, just a matter of focus. Where do you put your focus? Do you focus on the problem or do you focus on the solution? And that is, in my opinion, that is one of the most important skills to have in your mind, is to always focus on what is positive and what things that I can do today that would get me to wherever or whatever I want to be tomorrow. And well, that said, that means that I know what I want to be tomorrow, and that is also something different. If you have an outcome in your mind, if you have a goal in your mind, that would make your life much more easier. And you have a purpose in life, then you have a goal in your life, and you know where you're going. And if you have the right motivation to reach your goal, then everything happened to you will be just uh, a situation that you can see like an opportunity to change something and to do something positive about your life, and just move forward in your life and evolve, develop yourself, and try as much as you can to reach your goals. um, Life is just like that. Life, things happen in life. I never thought that I would leave Syria and move to a country that I had simply no idea about, which is Sweden. But that's life. I mean, these situations just happen, and I always try to make the best of anything that would happen to me. That is something that I learned to. It's a skill. Simply, it's simply a skill. To have that in your mind, that all right, whatever happened in life, it's it, it it doesn't have to be a problem. It could be an opportunity for change, an opportunity for growth. And of course, I did my best, and I did the best that I can in a new country, in a new culture, with a new language. I knew absolutely nobody when I came here. Now I have many friends, of course. I worked in the branch that I love the most. I worked as a coach for almost 5 years. I worked in a staffing and recruitment company, one of the biggest in Sweden. So if I had no idea what I wanted to do, if I had no goal, if I had no outcome in my mind, and I simply know a lot of people who have that mindset, who are just victimizing themselves, like, oh my god, this happened in my country. I am 35, 40 years old. I can't start over from scratch. It's very difficult. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's very easy to have that mindset. It's very easy to say that to yourself. Or you can just say, okay, I'm here. What now? What next? What I'm going to do today or tomorrow that will put me in a better situation, that would make me evolve, that would be good to me. yeah, and so forth.
And that was the whole thing of why we're even starting the mindset journey. The mindset journey was for me, and it's to help me stay focused on changing my mindset from thinking I can to thinking from I cannot to I can. Especially since I tell everyone every day, you can do it. And then there were things that I was dealing with that I was thinking, oh, I really can't do this. What am I going to do? I needed to change my mindset. And the mind, what did we call it? The mind gym. Sorry, that's very new. Came to just get people thinking about how to change their mindset. And the big thing here is to get people saying, I can do it. You know, someone wrote to me and said, hey, you need to be, realistic. There's bad in the world. Yeah, there is. But how can we also help the world news to begin speaking about the positive things? Because I really
of course,
believe
as I
more
said before,
positivity going on in the world than we know, and than what we're seeing. And that was,
yeah, as I said before, I mean, if you want to focus on the negative, you're gonna find many. You're gonna find a lot of it to focus on, of course. And if you want to focus on the positive, there is also many, and you can focus on that also. You can focus on what you can do, as you said. You can focus on, no, I will not accept to be a victim. I will not accept to stay negative. I will change my mindset. I will find what is positive, and I will focus on it. When you train your mind to do that, it will magically.
did you get off? You muted yourself. I'm unmute. You're unmuted now.
Yeah, I just had a phone call.
Oh, okay. I was finish what you were saying, and we'll let Ashish in on the conversation.
Oh, great, he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of where do you want to lay your focus. It's people just put the same effort, the same energy on focusing on the negative stuff that they could have focused on the positive stuff, but they're simply not aware of it because their minds are not trained to see what is positive. They train themselves to, well, unconsciously, of course. I'm not saying that they want to do that on purpose, but the result is the same. You train your mind to see what is negative, then this is what it will see. You train your mind to see what is positive, and little by little you'll find yourself, well, look, I mean, my life is changing. I don't know what's happening to me. Many things, many cool stuff is happening around me. Well, yeah, because you focus on the right stuff now. Simple. When you're focusing on the negative stuff, yeah, it will happen.
You're talking very well, and you're going on and on, but I want to mention this. If you're watching from the watch party, please realize that you need to come to Rayhan's page or copy the link and paste it in your browser. I don't think you can just click on the link in the watch party. I could be wrong. Number two, if you see value to this show, please share it out. We want new faces and new people coming in. And we are sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace one conversation at a time. And I'm glad you guys are here. But the reason that I brought this up was yesterday after the mind gym that I did. We were talking about news and how everyone gets caught up in the news. And they get caught up in the negative news. I mean, there's tons of negative news happening in my country right now. And with that, we can stay and complain, just as you were saying, or we can make the change. And I asked the question, and someone said, but you can't live in a bubble. You need to know there's negativity. You need to. And I said, yes, you don't need to live in a bubble. I'm not suggesting that. But what I am suggesting is turn it around and use it to move forward to a more positive way. And that's what I would like to focus on. There were people here before the show, and I told them to come back after, when we're live, and I don't see them. I don't know what's going on. But Ashish, can you introduce yourself and speak on the topic?
Yeah. Hi, friends. This is Ashish K from New Delhi, India. But today I'm here at a different place, which is 1,000 miles away from New Delhi, the capital city of India. I'm in my village surrounded by dense forest. So, am I audible to everyone?
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought you'd be
Okay.
back in Delhi from what you had written to me.
No. Actually, I was traveling to my village after 3 long years. So, I'll be here for next few weeks. I'll be spending good time because
okay.
it's a very good place, good weather, cold weather, and comes with hot energy.
Now it looks like you're sort of in a tent. Are you in a tent or in a house?
No, I'm in a house, but I'm inside a mosquito net to prevent myself from mosquito bites because it's my village is surrounded by dense forest, so there's so much mosquito here, mosquitoes.
You said it was cold there. If it's cold there, aren't the mosquitoes dead now?
Actually, the school arrived, so in next few months, I think 20, 30 days later, there'll be less mosquito, or you can say they'll be dead. But right now, I need to prevent myself from mosquitoes bite.
So you have plenty of mosquitoes in the house, I assume.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 mosquitoes. I suffered from mosquito bites since this evening.
Okay. So, do you have anything? Tell them what you do. Or did you already do that and I'm just spacing out?
No. Actually, I'm a tax consultant and educator, which is my profession there in Delhi. Here I have lots of work to do. I'll be meeting to the certain group of people, certain students that is in my to-do list here for next couple of weeks. And I'll be sharing all those stuffs here on Facebook. If you are in my list, you'll be watching all those things. Well, what we are... yeah, Carla, you were saying something?
Come on.
Yeah. Today we are discussing lots of things. And if I'll sum up in a single word, so it's called mindset journey. And today we have Asama Attar, he has very expertise in this neuro-linguistic programming, Carla Ristman, and we can discuss it in light of several things like that: positive, negative energies, things which is beyond our control. And I was eagerly waiting for Asama to be here that I can share my experiment with those things. And today it's very, important day to share. Well, Carla, there's different school of thoughts. have different views on it, that whether we should focus on positive things or we should enjoy our life, that positive things automatically come in our life. Instead of, there's no importance of, I mean, I would say that is completely worthless what we say that is negatives. So probably I'm able to convey my points.
Keep talking about it. Be a little more clear.
Yeah.
Hello, Nazish.
Okay. So instead of keeping a point in your mind that I'll be focusing on positive, why don't we do like we'll be enjoying the stuff where we are in any situation? If we are enjoying in life, whether we are in Syria, Egypt, USA, India, so definitely the things which are around you, are surrounded by the people, will turn out to be positive. We need not to be necessarily focused or be in search of positive things in life. That is my opinion on it.
If I understand what you're saying, is it related to gratitude? You mean to be, thankful and happy for what you already have? I don't know if I understood right.
Well, I have another question, but let's deal with your question first.
Actually, I'm saying that only, Osama, that about gratitude. We show our gratitude in life that we, yes.
One moment, Abdul Hasib, if you are not going to put on your camera now, I will put you in the white room. You may not sit here without your camera on. I'll give you a minute and I'll put you in the white room until you're ready to put on your camera. Unless you're a lady, you can put that in the chat, but I doubt you are with that name. Go on. Actually, I'm sorry, that was important.
Okay. So I'm saying that only that we should show gratitude towards what we have, because when we go for positive things, so we stuck somewhere. What is positive? What is negative? What is positive? Negative? Throughout the life, these things are keep going on in our life. Instead, if we show gratitude, what we have, we may have at the times a piece of bread to have in dinner, or we don't have adequate amount of money, but still we have so many things where we can show gratitude, we can be happy. So necessarily we not to be focused on positive nature, we will not be stuck anymore to find what is positive, what is negative. That is my opinion, my own experience.
I agree with you on that.
Yes.
But we're taking this one step further. I agree. We need to have that gratitude. I spoke about it the other night on the mindset journey. However, there are things that are happening in the world, even in our own environment, that are not really things we wish to happen, but they're happening because it's part of life. And what I am saying is that we can either, and I want your thoughts on it, but I want to make sure you understand what I am saying, is that we have a choice with these things. We can either say, be mad and angry and talking about it and complaining for the next few hours, or we can use that as a stepping stone to go forward. And I'm asking, what do you think we should be doing? We can't, I'm encouraging people not to close their eyes or be blind to the negative things happening in the world. I feel very strongly about that. Go on.
Yeah, I totally agree what you just said about it. I mean, things which are not favorable to us in our individual's life, definitely those are the things which gives us courage, momentum in our life to achieve our goal, achieve the things and heights of success in individual lives. I totally agree because I myself experienced it in my own life. So there is no point of difference at all in it. But
Okay.
Can I add
as you,
something?
yeah,
Yeah, that's the part. That's the point of it. And I want Ashish, not Ashish, Najish joining in too. But
Uh,
she's going to have to introduce herself before she does that. Go on.
well, I just wanted to add something that I think that it's important to talk about in this context, which is, as Carla said, what can I do to change what's happening? Now, there's a very interesting thought that we have in NLP is something called the circle of influence and the circle of interest. The circle of influence is everything in this universe that I can change uh, myself, that I can actually change with my own hands. The circle of interest is, well, it's much more, of course, much more wider than the circle of influence, and it's simply everything that is interesting to me in this universe. Now we are different people, and different people have different interests. If you're interested, let's say, about your house, if you're interested about your job, something like that, what you can do to change it always start with your circle of influence. And I mean what you can change personally, directly. What do you have actual direct influence on? And that always start with yourself. That said, simply what you can do is always change yourself, develop yourself. That is always the first and the most important step that you can take, is to have an awareness of yourself, to have an awareness of what is my flaws, where's my strength, where's my flaws, and how to develop myself, how to be a better human being every single day. Many people think that, well, I am like that, I don't, you can't change yourself, you're just the way you are. That is simply not true. You can change yourself, you can change everything in yourself, because it's simply you who made yourself. You don't, just pop up in the universe like you are and you have your personality. No, your personality is an actual result of your uh, experiences, of your decisions, of your past experiences, and everything you did in your life. And to the point that you have this awareness that everything that did happen to you happened for a reason, and you can consciously change yourself, then it's just a matter of choice, a matter of motivation, and you can change yourself for the better. And when you do that, your circle of influence will get bigger and bigger, and it will eat from your circle of interest. And that way, the more you can change yourself, the more you can control yourself, the more influence you will have on your environment, on your direct environment. Now, you have many examples of that. Uh, I mean, any person who had that journey of changing and developing themselves will have an influence, at least on the people surrounding them. Just like when Carla said, well, I have this mind gym or mindset changing journey that I have. Well, it is you, but you're putting it on YouTube. That is simply just not you. You are influencing many people and many people are watching you having that change, and it's just, it's just a matter of time before they get influenced by that. And this is what I mean. What I mean is, when you take action, things will happen and you will influence your surrounding. But the most important thing is to have that in your mind, that my circle of influence is actually me. That is my first circle of influence. And the more I can control it, the more it will expand and it will take space from my circle of interest. That's it.
Definitely. Over to you, Carla, then I'll come on it.
No, say what you want to say. It's okay.
Okay. Okay.
But I do agree with Usama. It depends where your mind is. Let me say something. I'm glad you did say that, because it's coming to me now. Our mindset, I'll be honest, I have a real issue about asking people for money and being paid. Hence, I'm in a very, very not so good financial situation right now. Like, I'm wondering if I'm going to make it through the month, although I have the faith that everything will work out. In the past, there was a time I would be in tears. Oh no, I can't, I'm not going to make it. Who's going to be there to help me? What should I do? But instead of being in that mindset now, it's more, what can I do to be, so people know my value? So people are willing to pay my value. That's a change. That's a change in mindset. That started when I started the mindset journey. And that was really why I started it, to be honest. To change that. And I made it public because I realized I wasn't the only one dealing with this problem. So I asked the question. So what I'm saying to everyone is, you may have that fear that I'm not going to make it through, or it's not, things are not working. That fear was, that concern, or whatever you want to call it, came because you need to make a change. You need to move. And whatever power there is guiding us in our lives gives us that oomph to say, go forward. And everyone has them in different ways. Najish is afraid to talk. We know that. She's getting better, but it's true. I'm afraid. I have my fears. You have your fears. And it's all right, but are we going to let our fears keep us from doing what we need to do? Like, Nazish comes here pretty regularly and she makes herself talk. Or are we going to let our fears limit us from doing what needs to be done so we move forward? I think I finally said it clearly. Maybe not. Tell me.
Now, of course, it is clear. Of course, the first step, just like you said, the first step is always changing yourself and believing that it's actually possible to develop yourself every day, and to show the world your worth. Absolutely. And the whole world is made of people, and if every single person had that awareness that I can develop myself, I mean, miracles could happen in matter of weeks. I don't know. I mean, if everyone would think in that way, that yeah, because people will say there are many negative things in the world, and I want to do something about it. So they just go on the streets and they want to change the government, or they want to, change their jobs, or the company that they work in. Well, I would say start with yourself, and it will be a natural consequence that your surrounding will change. It will be just a normal uh, a normal um, a normal change, a normal transformation for your direct milieu, if I can say, for your direct entourage, the people around you. They will change. Once you change, it's just, you can't. People around you cannot stay the same if you are developing every single day. These things just, are contagious.
And it's not letting go. It is letting go of the negativity, but not hiding from it. Knowing that it's there and moving forward. I'll tell you, I put that, I don't know if you saw the post on my Facebook page, but I put it up. How can we change things to a more positive environment? And someone wrote, you got to be real. There's always negativity. Yeah, opposites are complementary. You
That
wouldn't
is
know there was something good if you didn't know the bad or what
that
isn't good.
what is interesting to me, that each and every time I speak to someone who has, negative thinking, they always tell me, well, that's reality. Well, I can tell you, at best, at most, that is 50% of reality. They always focus on what is negative, and they tell you, well, this is what is real. I know that it's real, and I know that it's there, but I will not accept to focus on that. I will focus on what is not, what negative people will never see, the positive things. They don't see the positive things, because all they see in their life is negative. They look on the news, they say, oh my God, another war. Oh my God, another disaster, another tsunami, another tornado, or whatever. They look. Well, there are many positive things in the world, of course. Now it's happening. Why don't you focus on that? Why don't you focus on yourself, and how can you be better? That is always, it's just the exact same amount of energy when you put your focus on negative things or positive things. People will tell you, yeah, well, you're living in a bubble, you're just, in a positive bubble in the world, and everything is negative. That is simply not true. They're putting themselves in a negative bubble.
And that's what that person said to me. And I was like, and this is someone who knows me pretty well. And I'm like, you're not getting it. And I sent this person a message today. I saw something that I knew would be something she was interested in. And I sent it to her over on Facebook, and I said, Messenger actually. And I said to her, you're right. We can't just ignore the negative, but we need to start looking at the positive too.
And ask them if they even can see the positive.
Right.
They always tell you, well, you're not seeing the negative. Well, at least I can see the negative. I won't focus on it, but at least I can see it. But I can also see what is positive, what's happening, what's positive in the world. Negative people will not even see that, and they will tell you you're not realistic.
Right, and that's what she said. And then I began to realize that she is much more negative than I ever realized the person was, and I was kind of disappointed. But at the same time, I was like, this is what we see in the world more often. Let Najeesh, I want Najeesh to introduce herself. She is unmuted. She didn't know that and has been. And I want to hear what she has to say, but she needs to tell people who she is first.
Hi everyone. I am Nazish from Pakistan. I am married and blessed with four kids, naughty kids, and I run my parlor at home. Mm, So I share with you my journey um, to mindset. Um, can I, Carla?
I want to hear what you have to say. That's why I brought you into the conversation. I am
Yes, Carla, but I try.
one moment. I'm not going to mute anyone. I want people to be able to speak to each other because this is how the show is going today. So, I mean, if we have more people join us, fine. If we don't, that's fine too. And we'll just have this conversation online. I think it's a very important one. Okay, talk.
So I am not trying. I am doing now this time. Hope you are all.
I'm
Hope you
so
are all.
excited to hear this woman say that. Go on.
So hope you are all understand. So Carla, it's about my father that before 14 years ago, when I was not married, I depend on my father. He was a heart patient, and I really love him. Um, so I really uh, care him. Um, I always think that I save my father because I am her daughter, and God
Her
accept all
or
my
his?
his.
Right. I am his. I'm sorry. This is one thing I'll always correct. Go on.
So I forget mm, that God always accept my all prayers. Mm, I became selfish that time. Um about my father because he was very sick uh, when he was in him when he was live with us. So uh, that moment when my father was leave us, um, now he's not no more, uh, but I depend and my sister depend on him. We we are hopeless. Everything. Uh, we we only think that he's the only uh, person that he give all the things and provide all the things for us. We we didn't depend on ourselves. So after this happening, um, I was uh, very disturbed because I was not married that time. Um, so I learned the beautician course. After 2 years, I was really depressed and depression. So what we do because I Carla, what can I say? So
You're doing beautifully. Keep on talking. I'm
Carla, I
very
have
proud of you.
so. I want to study Kerala, but I have no money to pay my fees. Uh, so I decide to tuition at home, and at the evening I go. I really I daily go to the uh, job for beautician uh, at Islamabad. So when I left at 4 o'clock, I my tuitions childs are come at home, and I tuition them um, 3 hours, and then I feel relaxed, comfortable to do this. But that time was very hard to me because I have no idea how I picked the um, car to uh, reach the Polar Way, and I don't know. I really face difficult people on my way, but these all things teach me that it is a life. You you can't uh, depend always uh, to 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 your loved ones and others. You should depend on yourself always. You can do so. I continue my study and pay my study and also my sister, and then I uh, start tuitions, and then I did my graduation. So my husband come in my life. He's my uh, motivator. I is my mentor. He guide me always. So it is a part of life, because I was very attached with my uh, father, uh, but just today I wish that uh, he come back and see her daughter is depend herself and doing very beautifully. So, but it is natural thing, um, because I forget that that is a part of life. Uh, so it was my journey that I face many of difficulty, but I never uh, choose the negative way. I always depend on myself and choose the positive way to stand myself. Um, um, for hardworking. So I get this. Today I have no very big polar, but I have a skill. It 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 I believe it will it will uh, work on my future. Uh, so I have a skill. So uh, it's behind a struggle. It's not only a sandwich that I I eat very easily. It it's it's back. It's behind a very hard job that I did this. That's it.
Najeesh, you just totally blew me out. You did such a beautiful job. There's someone writing that in the chat. what a good job you did. I hope that person, Ovais Ahmed, would come to the show. But I am totally blown away by what you said. I can't even, I don't know. I really don't know what to say to you about it. It was just amazing. If you ever tell me you cannot speak English again, I will get there within minutes and knock your head off, because you're amazing and you don't even give yourself credit. That was so, maybe someone else should speak. I'm overwhelmed.
Absolutely. I mean, Nazish, she's an inspiration to anyone in her position.
Right.
Her journey is just amazing. You know, with the resources that she had, that the things that she accomplished. I mean, really, I mean, hats off.
And the fact that she said it in English, I mean, if we were talking in her language, she probably would have just rattled it off. But she kept on speaking in English and she got it out. And I'm sorry, I just don't know what to say. It's unbelievable. I would have never expected that to be said on air. I'm almost in tears. Ashish, do you want to speak to her about this? I did see your note, Ashish.
Yeah, right. I'm just, you can see a smile on my face. I don't know why people say that they should be fluent in English to convey their thoughts, message, and whatever they are feeling to the guys who understand and native speakers. Nazis, we understood almost everything of yours, what you said.
Everything, not almost. Everything she said.
Ashish understood almost everything.
I had to correct that. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, just I'm correcting it. Yeah, we got it.
No,
Everything
Ashish,
what you
this thing will improve my next language that you say.
no,
This
Carla
point.
is right here. Carla is right here, Najis. You are improving you yourself. Nobody is doing anything here. Credit goes to you. You need to appreciate yourself.
Right.
Carla is right here. I had to correct my words and I did that. So today it's your day. Today,
Oh, no.
of course, it's your day.
It is.
And we don't want to say it in
No,
words.
Carla,
Thumbs up
I
from our
feel.
side.
I feel.
Why?
Just talk.
Najish, you did it. I
feel
can't
shy.
say how well you did. I'm almost in tears. You did so beautifully. You did it. I did not do it. Najish did it. Stop giving me credit for something you did. I just gave you a place to do it. That's all. And you had the courage to come. The last time I looked, there were over 1,500 people reached by this show. And when I saw that, I don't know how many people heard you speak today. I mean, I have no idea. But people heard you speak. People saw you speak. And you did it online. I'm not sure I would have done what you did today. Can I tell a story? And this is for Najis. I used to go online a lot with Rayhan, and then as we got to know each other really well, we both began to speak really honestly to each other. And I am capable of saying, Rayhan, I'm not going to say this online, I'll say this offline. And I keep it to myself. But he'll say things that people would say, why does she, I have had people write to me, why do you let them talk to you like that? And I said, my answer is, it's my relationship with them. Because I know that when he talks to me like that, it's not because he disrespects me, although it may sound like it. It makes him look horrible, but it's because of how we talk to each other and that we understand each other. What you said publicly today here was absolutely amazing. I'm not sure, well, I'm beginning to, because I talked about my finances a little today. But I'm not sure that I would have told the story as you did and put it out there like you did. And I am just so impressed. I mean, I sat here and I was almost in tears because you told the whole story and you let everyone know. And you did it in English, not in Urdu, not in Hindi. You did it in the language that I needed you to do it in. And that was so amazing. Please take credit for it, because I would not have encouraged you to have said that, all of that. You did that on your own. You did it because you wanted to do it. And also, to add to it, I think, and I am beginning to understand, because Rayhan had said this to me on several occasions when I said, oh, your son doesn't want to talk to me, doesn't want to say this on air. And he once said to me, Carla, it's just a conversation between that person and yourself. I don't want to name names here. And others are just eavesdropping. You don't even know who's eavesdropping. So there's no reason for him to feel nervous about coming in. He's just talking to you one-on-one, and he can see you, and we're live. And I kept those words in my mind. Every time I talk to someone, when I have to kind of convince them to go on live with me, I tell them that, because it's nothing, no one can hurt you by saying what you say here. They just hear you. And if they don't want to listen, they get off. They want to eavesdrop, they eavesdrop for a while. But it doesn't matter. You just did. I'm just overwhelmed. Does anyone else want to say something? Because we just got someone who I haven't met before, and I should let him introduce himself, but I don't want to do it if anyone wants to say more to Najis before I do that. Usama, Najis. Najis, do you want to say something?
No, Carla, enough. Thank you so much. You
No,
can
I
move.
think we can move on.
thank yourself, Najis. please give yourself a big hug and a pat on the back because you did so beautifully. You made me understand why I do this show today. And sometimes I need to know that. I'm not giving it up, but I think about it every once in a while. And of course, I always come back. Ashish, do you want to say something before I move on? We can't hear you. What happened? Did you mute yourself?
Am I audible?
Now you are.
Okay, so I have a point to share with you people, but on a different note. So first we should go to Khurram, then I'll be back.
Oh, I thought I was asking you to talk on Aziz.
No, it's not, at least for now.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Hello, Khurram. How are you?
Hello, Carla. Nice meeting you. I'm really glad to be the first time joining this webinar. You guys are doing great job. I often watch you through Rehan Allahwala's links. He always shares your webinars, and I'm always watching them whenever I have time. But today I was a little bit free, and I saw you are online, so I thought I should join you. And I'm really excited to be part of this clan. And you're doing, by the way, you're doing a fantastic job. I'm so glad for you to come up every so often out of your busy life and helping all of us learn English much better. Thank you so much. I want to thank you by coming here today.
Thank you so very much. Can you introduce yourself? Where are you from in Pakistan?
My name is Khurram Shehzad. My nickname is Bobby from my childhood. And
how did you Bobby? That's
yeah, it's you know, it is. I don't really know why my parents nicknamed me Bobby, but it was you know, ever since I was very young, I was called Bobby, and in the home and in the family, and we call it उर्दू में अगर हम बात करें तो प्यार से कहते हैं. I mean, we say that it's a childhood nickname. So some have Bubbly, girls have names like Bubbly, and Baby. Baby is also a word.
Yeah.
Nickname. And so it turns out that was a blessing in disguise, because I'm basically running a software company in Islamabad, and when I deal with the clients all over the world, United States, UK, Europe, and they have a very difficult time pronunciating my name, especially because
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at that comment. Go on.
Yeah, it's not an easy name to pronunciate in English, because you don't have any letter for we call it the Urdu alphabet khay, and you guys don't have that alphabet. So Khurram, that's my name.
It's not the alphabet as much as it is the sound.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to interrupt you because this is one of the problems people have when they're speaking English. They think, oh, I can speak English exactly like Carla, which no one can.
Yeah.
But that's not my ego talking. That's more or less the reality of life. But we have different sounds, and because of the different sounds, I needed to learn in doing this show, and it's been over 2 years now, that it needed to be, I needed to speak slower so people would understand me because of the difference in sounds. The same thing for you when you speak English. You need to speak slower because I'm not used to the some of the sounds you use. I called you Karim, and in Hebrew, the ha sound is there, but it's different. And actually, it's in the English language, is the H sound for the symbol of H.
Hmm.
And it's, you say it's not there. Well, in a way, it's not there because we look at it and we think your name starts with the K sound. It doesn't. The K is silent and it's Haram. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
That's what, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Not that the symbols aren't there, but how we look at the symbols and the sound is different. You guys, and I need to throw this out because this drives me crazy, even when I'm talking to Rayhan. You have different, you'll write something down and I'll look at it and I will transcribe it to be a different sound. And you're saying maybe misbah, but how you write it, it comes out misbah. So I see it differently, not that we don't have the sound, but the sound symbol relationship is different. Okay, I gave you my Linda Mood understanding of sound and symbol. You can talk. But it's important. I think this is something that scares people when they want to come to the show or they want to speak English. They get scared. And the only way we can correct it is for people to understand this is very normal.
Okay. You know, I can relate to that because despite that, I had very good English right from my schooling, and thanks to my teachers. I'll tell you the story of that, why my grammar teacher was the best teacher I could have ever got, because he broke down the sentences right down to the. No, he was a male teacher.
I'm just asking because usually in this country, men do not teach the younger kids. They only teach the older kids. So I thought, oh, it was a woman. Go on.
And so even though I had pretty good English, I was scared to talk to my customers. So one of my bosses, he encouraged me to start talking. And I was, there is always a, people are scared of doing anything the first time. And once they realize it's not that hard, they would take the courage and they will do it again and again. So he sent me a voice over internet phone, and he told me that start dialing, start talking to the people. Yeah, this is not very difficult. You will get better. So I remember my first call. I was a bit nervous, and I was doing a lot of mistakes, not because I didn't know how to speak the English, but because I was, scared. But I took the courage and I made that first call. And then I made a second call, and then it became a habit to talking to the North American people. And I realized that it's not about how good you speak, it's about how good a listener you are, you know. So
Absolutely.
so yeah, so we realized that we are not very good listeners of the English language. And if we start listening well, we start speaking well. That's my understanding.
And you know what? What you said is very true. We are not always good listeners of anyone. I'm taking it a step further. I could be speaking to someone in this country about something I think is really simple, and they speak English and have spoken English since they were babies, and they do not get it because they're not listening. We have all these ideas in our head and we stop listening, and we really do not hear what anyone is saying to us.
Of course. And you learn more when you listen English. I watched movies. I watched the English commentary in cricket, and that really helped me a lot in improving. I'm still improving. I make a lot of mistakes when I'm writing content. Thanks to the MS Word, that it can autocorrect me in a lot of sentence making. But I'm getting much better now. I'm still, it has been like 14 or 15 years since I'm in this professional world. But I, I learn. I keep improving myself, and that journey continues. And thanks to people like yourself, thanks to my mentors, people who correct me, I really appreciate them. And then I started writing. I started writing blogs uh, in my own technical field, of course. But I realized that I when I wrote something from the depth of my heart in a most natural way, it turned out to be a great write-up, and people liked it. You know, when you speak from the depth of your heart and you bring that natural flow in your writing, rather than fabricating the things and sentences and trying to create a drama, you just be your natural self, you know, and you just start sharing your experiences, how you felt, sharing your stories, become a good storyteller. Then you realize that you create great content that people actually admire and they get attracted towards. So uh, so just this journey that I had with the English language uh, is something that came to me very early in my life. I was I came from a a part of the Kashmir that is in the Pakistan. We called it the Azad Kashmir, and I was I was there in a government school, and we had very little access to education, and we had to walk several miles to go to the school. And usually we didn't get a lot of great teachers because it was a far off place. But one of the teachers that I was really lucky to have in my life was an English teacher, English grammar teacher, and his name was Sir Iqbal Khan, and I still respect him. And he was somebody who took English language very, very seriously, and he really wanted his students to learn it. And he taught us what are the tenses, what is the present tense, future tense, what is the present indefinite, future indefinite, all these tenses that he taught us. And that really laid a great foundation for the sentence making. We started making correct sentences, we started using correct form of the verb, we improved our vocabulary, we realized where we had to use the second form of the verb or the first form of the verb, and where we have to add the ing to the verb when we're talking about continuous tense. Where so he worked really hard with us. I must appreciate that he was somebody who really made a difference. And then after that, uh, up until I was in the class 10th, all the books were in the Urdu, except the English language books. Then came the intermediate. There, all the books were in the English, science, physics, chemistry, and I didn't have any problems understanding those books because I had a very good foundation. So, so I did my intermediate there, and after that I joined the computer science. Me and my family migrated to Islamabad, and all the books were all of a sudden they were in English, and we had to study those. So while some of my friends were struggling, and they, it's very nature that if you are studying Urdu for 10 years, all of a sudden the curriculum changes and you have to read all the books in English, and you are struggling with the English, you can't make a good progress. This is a dilemma of our society, that we either go to the complete Urdu or complete English, but when we mix up the things, a lot of students suffer. So there was a lot of students who were suffering, but I didn't have any problem in comprehending these books, and it was really easy for me to understand what was being said, and to learn that. Then came the computer era. I bought my first computer in 1998, and it opened a whole new world in front of me. Like, I could go to the websites, I could read content, I could read Wall Street Journal website, or New York Times news,
Excellent.
CNN, and then that journey still continues. I can do research now. In fact, I have developed a speed reading habit. I can filter out the content very, very fast that doesn't relevant to me, and I can go through the content much, much faster, because part of my job being an IT tech entrepreneur is that I have to do a lot of research. I have to keep up with the new things happening in the industry. So for that, I have to do a lot of reading, a lot of reading. So
Excellent.
that so so I feel really lucky that I was able to achieve all that just because having a good foundation of the English language.
Very good. Um, your story is wonderful, but we're way over the time of, I'm always way over these days, but we are way over the time for the show. I am really happy you came. Is there anything you would like to say? I know Ashish wants to say something, and I already told him he could. Do you have anything else you'd like to say now?
I just want to say you a big thank you for coming all the way. I guess you're from US, right?
I am sitting in the Washington, D.C. area right this moment. That's the value of technology, that Rayhan has really started something very amazing, that we can use technology to speak to people from all over the world. Ashish is a neighbor of yours in India.
I
Pakistan, we have Najish, and we have
I
Sweden.
know.
And none of us have ever met physically. And yet we are speaking together as if we were sitting in each other's living room, the same living room. And that's the value of this show. And I'm really seeing the big value today, big time. I mean, it really is it has a lot of value. Thank you. You helped me
Thank you.
see that
I'll
too.
try to be as regular in your show. I'll keep coming, and I'll tell my other friends to also join. It is open for anybody, right?
It's open to the world.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you for enlightening us.
Can you do me a favor? Do you have kids at all?
Yeah, I have one son.
How
Yeah,
old is your child?
he's 8 years old.
I have a show on Sunday and I call it the show for the under 20 crowd. Same
Okay.
time, same place, and you're more than welcome to bring your child to the show. And
I will.
when children come, I allow the parent to come, but the child needs to do the talking. And
Sure.
like always, I did not lock the room, so I have to let this person in. I am about to lock the room. Ashish, what did you want to say?
Right. I wanted to something else. Definitely, I'll go with that. And Kurum does something here, which gave me a new idea to speak about, but I'll keep it on for other days. Actually, I wanted to share the things about finance.
Can we talk to
What
him
you
first
said.
and then move over to
On
that?
the one hand, yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Because I have no idea who she is. Hi. Do you want to say hello? M. Khan, introduce yourself to me. Are you here?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Where are you from?
Basically, I'm from Pakistan, and I've been watching your show for the past 1 year or so. Not that regular, but I've been watching on and off, and it is the first time I've
Thank you for coming. Yay! Go on.
It took really a lot of courage to join it, and while I was trying to, connect through that link, I was trying to figure out how to do it because it was the first time I ever tried some video calling and online.
You did an excellent job. You came.
Thank you.
So, are you working outside of the home or are you just working in the home?
I was teaching. I was a school teacher, elementary school teacher, and nowadays I am on a visit to KSA, and I've left my job, resigned from it, and nowadays I'm working for preparing for my IELTS exam, and nothing. I'm not working at the moment.
That's okay. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Good. Not that it's bad, but I just want you to know that it's, that takes a strong woman. Do you live
Yeah.
with your family still, or are you living alone?
Oh, I live with my family, of course. Um, in Pakistan, we all live together, but 3 or 4 months back, we came here on visit to Saudi Arabia. So here I'm living with my brothers. I'm staying with them.
Oh, so you're in Saudi Arabia right now.
Yeah, yeah, in Riyadh.
Now, where did you find the show?
Oh, as I told you, I've been watching that show for 1 year or two, and through Mr. Rehan's page, Facebook page, I joined his page, and then I used to watch your program from now and then, but I never thought about joining it until recently, because I told you I have to take my IELTS exam, and I didn't find any person to talk to in English, and as I have left my job as well. So I'm staying home. You are stuck with yourself, no one to talk to, because our own language is Urdu and Punjabi at home.
And your English is beautiful.
Thank you. But when you don't, I know that I have English or vocabulary and ideas. I can express them well, and I have them at the back of my mind. But I thought that my English is not functional at the moment, because it was not in use.
That's the whole point of the show, to give people like you confidence speaking.
Yeah.
And I do want you coming back. I am so happy you came. It takes courage to come. I know that, especially if you're not a native English speaker. And I've said this many times on the show. There are days that many days that when I start the show, I'm scared because I don't know who's going to come or what, or even if someone will come. But I go ahead and do it. So it's courage that you have, and that courage is so very important.
It is. Another point that I was not actually afraid of speaking English or anything like that, because, but the thing was that facing the camera itself. But
Right.
but I thought that, oh, okay, I have to do it, so I did it.
And you did very well. And for ladies, and I shouldn't tell you now, but I'm going to tell you, ladies do not have to turn on the camera, the men do. But I like it because when you turn on the camera, if there are sounds that I don't recognize or I don't really know and you're trying to say something, I understand it better when I can see your face.
Yeah.
So let me
Yeah.
tell you a quick story. I worked with Rehan's staff for a while on this. And there was a man that when I would speak to him face to face, I totally understood what he was saying. When he would write a message to me, I didn't always understand what he was saying. When he would call me and not use video, there were times I didn't understand him. But if we sat and we talked face to face like we are right now, I knew what he was saying. There was no question about it. And we could talk about, Rehan would tell me, talk to him about this. We couldn't have the conversation unless it was face to face.
Yeah.
And
Face
right now,
expression.
my women's group is closed down, or I tell you to come down. But I mean, only 1 or 2 ladies were coming, and it's giving me some time to work on things that I need to work on that I can't do if I'm doing that. So when I have at least 5 to 10 women who are going to come, then I'll do it. I have a group of over 500 women. I've only met maybe 20 of them because they're scared, and I understand that. So how do you feel now?
For a while on the screen, just you and it's me. So I don't know how it would feel like when I see that video on the Facebook. Like, you know, it's available live for everyone to see. And I've never posted any video or picture of mine on you know, on any social media sites and anything. So for a moment, I feel like I'm talking to you face to face.
And you are. And that's what we're doing right now. Don't, you know, if I were you at this point, come a few more times before you watch the video, because the video may scare you. I don't watch my videos for the most part because I'm afraid it'll scare me and I'll stop doing them. But if I'm talking to you guys, I do all right. And I'm getting to the point that I can go and do a short video by myself without anyone being there and speak about some topics. But for the most part,
Sarna, I have a question for you. Can you enlighten us based on your experience? Why do people have certain phobias, social phobias especially?
I don't know.
One of them is maybe you have.
Sir, I know for me, but I can't answer for everyone. People have phobias for many, many different reasons. And why we are on this earth to get out of those phobias, to realize nothing can hurt us. We just need to do it.
When so many people are looking at us at the same time, when you're on a stage or a public speaking, what tips do you have for the people to be able to control their emotions, just be their normal being?
Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. Make it be something you want to do. And if you want to do it, you're going to go get past that fear. If you don't want to do it and you say, I'll try and I'll do it next week, you'll never do it. Just do it.
The sooner you do it, the better.
Right. But you are interrupting me. That was a very good question, but you're interrupting M. Khan, and normally you would be muted.
Not a problem.
Muted anyone today. Yes. What is your name? What is M? What does M stand for?
Minai.
Manai?
Yes.
Thank you for letting me know. I don't want to call you M. Han. I just want to call you.
Although it's quite common for English people like J.K. Rowling or things like they use their initials quite often. Like, or
yeah, but
maybe not in real life.
Right.
Maybe not in real life, but they do, I suppose.
Only when you're writing, they may do it, but when you're speaking to someone, M. Han, a little strange in my mind.
Okay.
And look at that beautiful smile. I wish I could get Najit to smile. She has this beautiful smile she hides 99% of the time. But it's really nice to see it on you. And I'm so glad
I was really a smiley kid when I was young, and I used to try hard really not to smile that often. You know, those kids who smile sheepishly from ear to ear. And that thing has stayed with me. Even at some time when I don't want to smile, the smile is there on my face. Sometimes I do smile generally too, but it's there because that's my normal expression most of the time.
And that, you know what? When you smile like that, that helps you relax, and you can do exactly what you don't want to do, because your whole body relaxes the second you put on your smile.
Indeed.
I promised Ashish that he wanted to talk about something. I'm going to let him do it because we're going on 2 hours now.
Okay.
And
Okay,
this
go ahead,
show
please.
is only supposed to be an hour. So, did I lock the room? I hope so. Oh, Bassett is here now. I gotta let him in, and I'm going to lock the room. Ashish, say what you want, and then I'm going to let Bassett talk. And I am locking the room. No one else can come in. I'm sorry. Okay, Ashish, go to it. We can't hear you.
This point
Now we can.
Okay, this point is very much related to finance. Most of people unreasonably keep on asking for money, but at the same time, people who really deserve to be paid feel a bit hesitant to ask for money. And Carla shared about herself. I am one of them, but we need to understand the real issue behind it. In the entire world, be it USA, be it India, Pakistan, Syria, or Egypt, everywhere there is inequality of money. There are certain group of people who are relying on the bed or full of money, but on the other side, there are a group of people they don't have enough money to buy a piece of bread. And we, as a professional, because we have achieved so many things in our life, we are the people who can channelize those money. It's not necessary to get the money and buy the luxury for ourselves, but it is necessary to get the money from those people who are lying on the bed full of money and channelize it towards the people who really in the need of money. Yeah, Carla.
I'm going to disagree. You haven't been watching my mindset journey very closely. Money,
Okay.
I am learning myself. Yes, I need money. There's no question about it. I could use money today if anyone wanted to send it to me. But money is generated from inside. It's an energy. And if we think we don't have money, so be it. The so be it angels say, okay, you don't think you need the money, we won't give it to you. You need to think you need it. You need to think that you can earn it, because everyone can get it. It's how we think that keeps us from having the money that we need. And I take responsibility for that myself. That's why I'm doing my mindset journey. That's why I'm doing the mind gym, to help me know that I can do what I want to do, and I will survive on this planet, whether anyone gives me a cent or not, because I'm here for a reason, and I'm going to do my purpose. And my purpose is to talk to people like you guys. I know that right now. It can be monetized. I can't think, oh, this is silly, I'm just talking to people. It's more than that. I found that out clearly from 3 people today. And I think Bassett will probably add to it. But that's what it's our thinking and how we look at things that keep us from doing what we want to do or from having what we want to have. Were you going to say something, Usama?
Not me, no.
Oh, okay.
I also heard something.
Okay, and with that, I really do need to be off today at some point. Let's say hi to Basit. Basit, I can't give you a long period of time today. We're almost at 2 hours now. But what can I do for you, my friend? First of all, introduce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Basit Khan. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Are
I'm
you
doing
feeling better
developmental.
today?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good,
Better than yesterday.
good.
So glad to see everybody. And yes, I am having exam next week. So I went outside for the photostat and some academic notes to get for myself. So that's why I get late for the show today. So my apologies.
Don't
And my
worry
bad.
about that. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about your mindset or do you want to talk about money?
Mindset or money?
Excuse me.
I will.
Sheesh, we won't do it today, but we will do it online. Okay? We're not going to do it on the show today. It will be done. But you can write it here, but just so you know. Go on. I'm sorry, Basit.
No, it's okay. So two options. So I won't talk about mindset because everybody has different mindset. So we can't talk about the whole world. So I will talk about money.
Well, that's also a mindset. But go on.
Yeah. Yeah. So without mindset, anybody can survive, but without money, nobody can survive. We all need money to push our lives.
We need money, but we need to also believe that the money is there. I don't know how to explain it. I will be able to explain it more as my journey continues. But it's true, money is a necessity, but we already have it. It's our mind that keeps us from knowing it.
I don't know, but in Pakistan, 60% people are living below the poverty line.
I know.
So yes, so
And it's their
money is a big
mindset.
problem. Yes, it is their mindset, but without so for money you also need skills. So it's just related thing, mindset and money. See, if I am having a mindset right now, but I don't have money, so I cannot get money
Right.
because I
That's
don't
the
have money.
point.
For money, you have to. You should have money to get money.
Not necessarily. You can get the money yourself. You can work on getting the money yourself.
Yes, you are right. If you are having a mindset, now you are
The
saying
only
it
thing,
good. Yes,
the only
Let
thing,
me add it.
I don't mean to be interrupting you. I'm interrupting you mainly because I'm running out
I
of
get it.
time. Please don't take it personally. But our
No,
mindset,
no.
it's, you know me. But I also wanted, if people thought I was being rude to you, I'm not trying to be rude. We are really out of time. how we think keeps us from doing what we need to do in order to accomplish our goals. If we
Yes,
think
Carla.
negatively we can't do something, you're right, you're not going to be able to do it. If you have that mindset, I am going to do it, it will get done. But I hate to do this, Basit. I want to teach this talk for a moment, and then I need to close the show like in the next 10 minutes at most.
Okay, just one sentence added to your
Okay.
argument. I am completely agree what you just said, and now I understood what you were just talking about. Because it is the mindset that can earn you money. When you don't have any way out, that is the mindset when it generate money.
Right.
All you have to do is to use it. I agree with it, and I am disagree with my argument.
I have a very dear friend who knows me very, very well. And the person was helping me financially, and then he decided, I don't know why you're not doing it yourself. I'm not helping anymore. You do it yourself. And first I thought, oh no, you can't do this to me. And then I realized what he was doing was allowing me to change my mindset. And that was very important. And I'm very grateful to that person. And with that, let Ashish say what he wants to say so he doesn't have conniptions. And not that he was going to, and I need to close the show, really.
Carla, as I wrote in chat box, I rested my words for today. I'll discuss with you. I'll be
Okay, we'll
writing it to
talk
you in
after the show
message
for a
box
minute.
separately. And Osama, okay. And the second thing which I would desperately wanted to talk to Osama, I think we need a separate day for that. So hopefully next week we'll be discussing that thing. We are way over time, so it's not appropriate to discuss it anymore here.
You can discuss whatever you like if you want, unless you want to do that on the show. You can always, text me,
Well,
we can connect on Facebook. That's no problem.
After I close the show, okay?
All right, just Carla will put us in contact.
Well, don't leave until I close the show, and you'll have a moment that you can talk. With that, I want to thank everyone who came and spoke to me. Najish, you were amazing today. Hiram Shahzad, you were amazing. Basit, it was fun. You're my Basit, my grumpy face, but I'm glad you came. I can't pronounce your name. You'll work with me on it.
You can call me Khan. You can just call me Khan if you want.
No, I refuse. You're going to teach Maniati, something like that. Thank you so very much. And of course, Ashish and Usama, thank you. And I want to remind you, we are part of the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace throughout the world, one conversation at a time. I will not be here tomorrow or Saturday, but I'll be back on Sunday for the people under 20 years old only. And then Monday through Thursday, any age, any man, woman, boy, girl can come and speak to me in English. 9:30 Pakistan time and 12:30 p.m. New York time, and soon it'll be 11:30 p.m. AM New York time because of the change in time. It will not change for you guys at all. It changes for me. Ugh, I don't like that. So let's wave goodbye and go out with a laugh. Hiram, you should be unmuted for this. I want everyone laughing. Unmute yourself.